There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. We are back with another episode of the Yonkō Table. I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and we are here to talk about Loki, episode 4. So, with me as always, we got to do introductions like with every episode, is my fellow Yonkō, GrandMasterHoop. Grandmaster, how have you been this past week?
Been good, Dr. Jace. I've been good. I feel like I mostly ever come on here and say I've been good. I know with these Loki episodes, I've been iffy, but I think I'm in a better place today. And my week has been going fine. Nothing too exciting, but I'm enjoying.
Nothing too exciting? No trips?
Oh, I went to New Orleans, had a good time, participated in some shenanigans with some other fellow Yonkō Table members. It was fun. It was cool. Y'all can check me out on Instagram, GrandMasterHoop, if you want to see those shenanigans. But yes, good week. Excited. I'm actually excited to talk about Loki this week.
Oh, excited for Loki. Okay.
Yeah, I think it left us in a better place than where we were last week. So yeah, I'm excited to be here at the table, and thank you for always asking, Dr. Jace.
As always. With us on this week's episode of Loki review for the Yonkō Table, we also have returning Supernovas, Rose the Crafter. Rose, how have you been this past week?
I've been good. I found myself doing a little vacationing as well with a fellow Yonkō host, as some would say. You do not have to follow me on Instagram. I will not shamelessly plug myself.
That was not a shameless plug. If they want to know what we did, they can follow me on Instagram.
They can access
extra context.
Yes, there you go.
Let me tell you one thing I didn't get though. Enough food, so I'm here and I'm hungry.
Damn.
Is it me or is it the variant? Ka-chow, let's go.
Listen, we need Rose to do these openings way more often. He never misses with them, man. He never misses. All right. And last but not least, we have Supernova Toasty. Have you been exhausted this week?
No, I've been great actually. A little bit exhausted, but I've been great. No, my sleep schedule is a mess still, but just hang out, watching a couple shows, a couple movies, because I have a short break though, so I want to make sure to pile up everything I want to watch real quick. But apart from that, nothing really amazing happened this week. Just kind of chill. I do have a lot of work coming up starting tomorrow, so that's going to be a pain, but
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm ready for this Loki episode. It was
serviceable.
Difficult. Let's just go with that. Yes. Okay. It was a difficult episode to watch.
Okay. You know what? Since we're all really hot to give our take on Loki, let's just go straight into it. I'll be honest, first half was difficult. It was a very difficult trudging to get through. It felt like more of what we complained about last week. Very slow pacing, kind of retreading old grounds, like, banter between Mobius and Loki, and just it was a mess. It was a slog. But I think once we got past that halfway point, I think the story started picking itself up, because in a general sense, we got reveals, like really big ones about the TVA, revelations about the Timekeepers. I remember Grandmaster, you were doubting me. You were doubting me.
No, I was not. I was not doubting you. No, I didn't. I never said that.
I was saying they're gonna pull the Marvel fake out. They're gonna do the Marvel fake out and pull a Jack and Daxter where the Timekeepers, they're not what they seem. They're not. And you're like, oh, Dr. Jace, you really think they're gonna do that again? You really think so?
Listen, it's not over. Like, there's still more to be revealed. So, you are partially correct so far.
You're right.
You are on the right track.
We need one more episode for my confirmation to become reality. Fine.
Yes.
Fine. Understandable. But what did you guys think overall? Like I said, early to mid episode, it was doo-doo, right? I mean, for me, it was doo-doo. I liked it once Mobius got to the point where he started realizing Loki's telling the truth. And then beyond that, it started getting a bit more interesting. And then the ending, that left us in a better place, as Grandmaster said. But what did you guys think overall? I'm going to throw that on the table. General thoughts on the episode.
For me, honestly, the first half, like I mentioned, I was bored. I remember even pausing it and realizing, okay, I still have like 3 hours to watch it. Let me watch the second half right before this podcast. That way I can remember the detail. And I remember you messaging me, I believe, saying, yo, you need to finish the episode. And yeah, that's the only reason I finished it. The first half, like, I cannot tell you what happened. I'm trying to think right now what happened. I'm like, okay, this happened.
Talking happened.
Yeah, but I cannot remember. Like, again, I'm sure I'm going to remember as we talk about the episode, but right now, it's just a blank right now. It's just a total blank until we got to the point where he was in the library and he saw the video of the interrogation. That's the point where my memory started picking up the episode. But apart from that, they need to do a better job. Last week, I gave them a pass. This week, they almost lost me.
We only have 2 episodes left, man. Like,
I know.
Because like it really brings into question, like, okay, we were 4 episodes down, and even though they left us in a good spot, does that justify like having like 2 bomb episodes? Like let's say episode 5 and 6 are like amazing, like they're like, oh my god, this is crazy, they're dropping bombs. What about the last 4 episodes that it took to get here? I
hope they don't leave us in a bad cliffhanger also, because I don't know if I'm willing to wait until either a Marvel movie or season 2 that most likely will come out in like a year or 2 to explain what happened. And I'm wondering how they're going to do that. Are they going to fill in the blanks with the Marvel movies, or just they're going to do the episode to fill in the... I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out, are the episodes going to help fill in the blanks for the movies, or the movies going to help fill in the blanks for the episode, or is it going to be vice versa? But so far, yeah, 2 episodes, I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm fresh off of the episode. Like, I just watched it before we jumped on there, so I don't even know how to feel about it. I don't know, maybe because I'm a little tired. It's been a long day, or I just sat down and just felt chill and watched it. I actually started catching on. Maybe the first third was slow for me. I wasn't really paying much attention to it. I was doing stuff around the house and stuff. But I think once they got out, the scene for me where I started to pay a little bit of attention, even though I didn't love it, was Loki again, showing a slight character development, but the same pattern of character development we've seen from him, acknowledging that he's a narcissist, which is not the first time we've heard him do this already. So it's kind of treading the same water. Interrogation.
You cut off like the last 5 to 10 seconds. I don't know if anyone else.
Well, if can you hear me now?
Yeah,
okay. We can.
Okay. Once he got out of the time loop interrogation, that's when I started paying a little bit more attention. Once Mobius started to play more of the investigator role, and get a little bit more iffy about what's going on, I said, okay, let me see what's happening here. So I don't have an overall thought for it. For some reason, it's like I did not enjoy it, but for some reason, I don't know if it's maybe just the mood today, it didn't like wow me. And we'll get to the twists and stuff. But it
you walked into that one, man.
Ka-chow. I still think it's cool how I left off, but for some reason there's like a weird inkling to me that it just didn't feel as smooth as I needed to be to get to the point that we finished off at. Even though it's interesting how they finished off. So for that, I'm just feeling I think it's better than last episode. But
for
did
sure.
it take the leap we all wanted it to take? I don't think it took that leap. But definitely progress. So 5 and 6, they got a ways to go. But
they
the
do.
Opportunities there.
They do. And I guess I'm kind of in the same boat as you, because like around the halfway point, I was thinking ahead of the game, like trying to think like, what am I going to say about this episode? I was ready to tear into it on the on the podcast. But then we got to the end and I'm like, oh, okay. That's good that we left off with some interesting notes, but I'm still in I don't know, man. It didn't hit that factor like the way we were coming off in episodes like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where we could unanimously say, yeah, this episode was great. It was fantastic. We loved it. Or this episode was garbage. But overall, like, yeah, this episode was kind of mid, but it was better than last week. Grandmaster, what are your overall thoughts? You seem itching to drop some food on the table.
I mean, not necessarily itching. I mean, I'm pretty much the same. Definitely better than last week. However, I agree with like y'all saying like the first like third or the first half was really slow. With that said, they just do a lot of familiar beats in the first half. You know, like the Loki Mobius interplay. Like, can I trust you? Oh, I think I know your game. Oh, but you don't know my game. So that was something we've already seen. Mobius and Ravana interplay. We've already seen that. It's just there were like hints of it's like spot the differences, you know. Loki's actually changed somewhat now. So Mobius should be listening to him more. And then, you know, now Mobius is not as trusting of Ravana because she's definitely withholding information. But it's the fact that it's just familiar beats that it almost feels like the first half was a carbon copy of the first episode in a sense, almost, you know?
Yeah.
So there was that, but it definitely picked up in the second half. And I won't say that's just because of the action, but I guess we finally started getting some answers and that's the other frustrating thing about the episode is that they didn't really answer much, you know. They confirmed one thing that they already gave us, but they didn't confirm why this is like the TVA agents, you know, being
variants.
They confirmed it with like Agent B15 or Hunter B15, but you know, we don't know why they're plucking people to be variants. So, you know, it still raises a lot of questions. And I still feel the ending was probably the best part, and especially the mid-credit twist. But again, that just raises more questions. And here we have, you know, 2 episodes left. And it's like, if they don't answer all these questions in the 2 episodes that are left, we're going to probably be pissed. You know, we're not going to be happy.
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
So we got to start closing some doors here, you know. But like Toasty said too, we don't know how this is gonna play into the movies, or this is gonna just, you know, are we ever gonna see the TVA spew over into the greater cinematic universe, or is this really just a isolated story where we know the TVA exists and everything, but movies moving forward, we're not actually gonna be like, there goes a TVA agent, you know?
The entire time, like, as I'm watching these, like, I have Kevin Feige's, like, you know, his statement before that he said that this was going to have the biggest impact on the MCU compared to the other shows. So I'm thinking of that, like, okay, nothing's happened yet, but supposedly at some point, something is going to happen. Now, whether or not that means like they're gonna save it for a finale, like
that's
something
what they're gonna do.
So yeah, something happens at the end, and it just changes so much in the lore, and then maybe it ties into Doctor Strange. And I mean, I don't know, man. I
heard a floating theory that I was telling Grandmaster earlier that the TVA right now is in the quantum realm.
Oh yes, yeah.
Really?
What's the quantum realm?
That's isn't that the Ant-Man related?
Yes,
realm?
It's the Ant-Man related. He was in the quantum realm. He thought it was only a few moments, but it was actually 5 years. The Avengers went through the quantum realm in order to do what they needed to do. So there's a theory that, and it's a little bit of a stretch of this theory that they're in the quantum realm.
I feel like
at the very least, Lamentus is in the quantum realm.
Right.
No, the TVA too.
Yeah. I feel like the fan theories are honestly at this point more interesting than what we've been getting in the show. Because I mean, think about it. Last week we were thinking that all this weird stuff that Loki was doing, like stopping that building from falling down on top of them during the Lamentus apocalypse. We were thinking like, oh wow, that's so like that seems so out of place. What if Loki is like, you know, kind of has Sylvie in an illusion to get her to drop more of her lore and everything? It turns out no, that wasn't the case. That would have been more interesting. That would have been and that would have been very Loki. You know, we'd have been like, oh wow, so he was making like an illusion for Sylvie to be in, and that's how he tricked her into getting what he wants out of her. But that didn't happen. So
actually,
yeah,
that's one of my issues with the show, because you just mentioned the power. How come he doesn't use his power outside of specific scene? Like
when he's at the TVA, he can't use his power.
But remember, even when the thing is off their neck.
Yes, the powers are still turned off. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay,
that's separated.
Right, yeah.
That's why the Infinity Stones have no effect.
Well, that's also why Hunter B-15 had to take her to the Rocksart apocalypse. Remember?
Yeah. That's right.
To show the enchantment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's that does not make sense. I don't like it, but whatever.
All things shall be revealed in the end, hopefully.
All things shall
They got to circle back on plenty of stuff. There's stones that they got to circle back on. There's yes that they dropped that we're gonna need answers to.
Mm-hmm.
We want answers now.
Do we think that maybe like the reason why this episode was somewhat slower paced was because if it was any bit faster, we would have complained maybe that like, because for example, like the big part of the episode in the first half being so slow was that we were they were trying to establish how like members like Mobius, they did not want to believe that they were a variant. They didn't believe it. And so it took the better part of 30 minutes of the episode for Mobius to really unfold that I guess that pizza. I guess trying to, discover like, wait, am I really a national race car winner in a Pixar movie? Like what's going
He's a jet ski owner in his past life.
No. In Kevin Feige said in a deleted scene, what they really said was a red car.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Shut that noise up.
That's why Toasty's wearing a red shirt right now. Why do you think he's
wearing?
I
know, right? Gotta represent.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If anything, he owned a jet ski in his past life, which makes sense why he's obsessed with jet skis.
Yes.
I think you just misunderstood.
Sure,
I'm pretty sure you said a speed car, but
I did not misunderstood. It was right there.
Jet skis and speed cars go fast.
Exactly.
So not everything can be as it seems.
Listen, I'll say this, talking about, slowing down for the TVA trying to realize stuff.
Because they're throwing out their lives. Remember that.
It was good stuff, to be honest. Like, I like Mobius, as Rose said, unfolding the mystery and whatnot. But, he gets pruned. And then on top of him getting pruned, B-15, we don't even get to see her past life. She's like, can you enchant me so I can see it again, my memories?
So I was expecting to see a memory at least, just to kind of throw it out there. So it's a good point. It seemed like they stretched out a little too much in the beginning, and then the second half, they had to cut some beats to fit their runtime.
Right.
It came off that way. Even up to the end, I was like, wait a minute, we're here already?
We're done.
we're here at the end. Wait a minute. Like
Exactly. So then it was like, you know, if the big thing this episode was TVA revealing that they're variants, we still didn't get much from that, you know. It's like they had to cut some stuff. And I guess they had to cut some stuff for like, I guess the action. And I guess the other big reveal at the end of the episode, your Jack and Daxter theory. But it's like, I feel the direction is kind of disjointed. Like, for example, did we need, and I thought this was a cool little cameo, but the Lady Sif cameo.
I thought it was neat, but I felt like that dragged on way too long. That ate up way too much time. When the joke happened, I think I was tired of the joke by the time the second round when it was happening. So like, you know, Loki gets, you know, kneed in the balls, punched in the face, and then the memory repeats the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, so it repeats. The joke should end here. But they kept going with it. And I'm like, dude, I get it. It's funny. Loki's getting punched by it's not his. Is that his foster sister or just a friend?
No. Just that's their friend.
As guardian friend.
Thor's little squad. Yeah.
Okay.
She was a Valkyrie, no?
No, not a Valkyrie. She's just Thor's female warrior friend.
But you see, like that scene, I feel they could have done a better job if they wanted him to learn. They could have had the scene where the mom died to make him feel remorse. But that scene just felt like, oh, let me just have him getting beat up for like 2 to 3 rounds. Like if it was a scene where it was the scene when the mom died in the movie, and it was him having to see that was going to be emotionally impacting for him. But I'm not a writer for Marvel, so I guess they missed out.
Hire Toasty for Loki season 2. You heard it here first.
You heard it here, my dude. And starring Carl will appear in that thing. I'm promising that.
Of course. So yes, I do agree with Grandmaster that did stretch on for a little too long. The Lady Sif was an interesting cameo. We haven't seen her since Thor: Dark World, right?
I think she actually appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I'm not counting that.
Oh, you're not counting that? Okay.
That's part of the cinematic universe.
Fine. Yes, I guess because Ghost Rider's canon in there too. Fine.
And I think she's slated to appear in Love and Thunder.
Actually, yeah, I think I saw that too.
Which is a pretty crowded film right now, but
right.
I'm pretty sure she's slated to appear.
Okay. So it was cool to see her.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah.
Overstayed the welcome.
She did drop that. Didn't she give like a variation of her line when Loki like stopped, repeating the same loop over and over again?
Yes,
like,
she said
on the loneliness. I can't remember what it was.
No, she did. Yeah.
I
can't remember exactly what the difference was, but she did. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that was the most I got out of it.
But it was like, just how many times are they gonna kick a horse when it's down?
Right.
Or kick a dog when it's down.
Poor Loki, man. He's a punching bag.
Yeah.
But finally, episode picks up when Mobius realizes he's a variant, goes in, saves Loki, and he gets pruned. He gets deleted. He's out of here. He's gone. But the question is, what does prune really mean, right? Because the TVA so far have been lying about practically everything. They've been lying about all the workers being variants, all of them being created by the Timekeepers, the Timekeepers even being real, not my Jack and Daxter theory will hold water in less than a week. But you have all this going against them. Who's to say that pruning is what it is? Like we saw at the end of the episode with the mid-credit scene, Loki's alive and he got pruned. Who's to say Mobius is also not alive somewhere in another realm with other variant Mobiuses? What if it's like a trash bin scene, like from Toy Story 2, when Woody's having that nightmare sequence when Andy throws him in the trash with all the other toys, and he's like, "Bye, Woody," and and you know, like he's in with all those other broken toys. What if this area is like a lot of other broken variants, a lot of other broken characters, and this is where they go? This is the trash heap. I'm telling you. It's going to tie into Toy Story 2 and Cars.
If you wanted to make a Toy Story reference, I would have gone with pruning is the equivalent to Sid's bedroom, where the unwanted and the defective toys go.
But Sid still keeps them. He still keeps them. He maims them first, and then he keeps them around as little experiments.
So how do we don't know that's what the TVA is doing? Keeping them around in another little pocket realm, because as the mid-credits said, Loki's like, "Am I dead?" And he's like, "No, not yet. So come with us if you like want to live." So like Sid, the TVA is just pruning people, I guess, for whatever reason. But hold up, did anybody get emotional when Mobius got pruned? I got emotional. I was a little saddened.
I mean, it was unexpected.
It was definitely unexpected.
I was like,
yeah,
ka-chow, wow. And at that point, you know, I don't know, man. Like I did like how he was saying, like, "Oh, Ravana, you know what I would really like? Where I would go if I could go anywhere, I would go with a jet ski." Yeah. And then he gets pruned. I don't know, man. It just, I was surprised, as Rose was saying, but I don't know if I was emotional.
It felt unreal. Like, that's how it felt. It just felt unreal. I was like, wait, he died? And I was like, no, like, that feels way too quick for this character to die. And I assumed that he was going to come. Like, I assumed it was kind of a trick.
It has to be. Like, for him to get...
I thought that was it.
Yeah. There was no way. Like, I felt like there was so much more to his character that for him to just get offed like that, I kind of expected some reveal at some point, like pruning is not what it seems. I don't know. It didn't sell me.
Where did Loki wake up at?
We don't know.
It was like a battle or something.
We don't know. Yeah, it looks like because you saw like the rubble and the decaying buildings in the background.
War torn, yeah.
Very war torn.
I think he was back in Avengers territory.
Back in Avengers.
I just imagine he's probably in another.
Watch. They sent him back to Asgard. That's what happened. They sent him back to a destroyed Asgard where there's nothing around.
There's nothing of Asgard. I think that.
But there's skyscrapers in there, like modern skyscrapers in the background.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Like a city. I mean, that's how I saw it. I was like, oh wow.
So no, that's how I saw it too. I mean, it could be anywhere. It really could be anywhere. I mean, with the multiverse, whatever.
Oh yeah, it could be like a pocket dimension.
Well, now that we're talking about it, I think this might relate back to the multiverse war. Maybe this is the battlegrounds
for
where the final battle of the multiverse war happened, where
could be a dumping ground,
where the TVA's Sacred Timeline won that war. They became the Sacred Timeline because they beat out everybody else.
Would you say it's akin to a Keyblade graveyard?
Yes, similar to that.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to draw a superfluous comparison, but sure.
They're all owned by the same company, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Connections. These things have layers. You have to dig underneath to really uncover the connections.
Okay, sure, yes. A Keyblade, akin to a Keyblade graveyard, yes.
But aside from that, what else did we get? We got more background on Sylvie too, and that kind of ties it
a little bit.
A little bit.
What do we get?
We got that when she was abducted, or not abducted, when she was arrested by the TVA, kidnapped by the TVA, essentially. But we don't know why. Initially, I went in thinking that is she a variant because she's female? Like why is it because that's what they made it seem at first, and then you had that scene in the elevator with Ravana where Sylvie's asking her, why did you take me for my time? If I'm gonna die, at least let me know what even started this mess. And Ravana just gives her like some sass and like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, okay, all right, so that's the direction we're going. So I'm led to believe that any variation of Loki that is not a bisexual white male is a variant, and they get thrown into that variance time hole. Because what other reason? And then if it is because she's female, why didn't they arrest her as soon as she was born? Like, why did they wait till she's a top? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's
I still don't think she's Loki.
You still don't think she's Loki? You think she's what we were saying before, like maybe Enchantress or?
I mean, they're leaning that way. Yes. Yeah, I'll stick with that. I don't think she's Loki. I still don't think she's Loki. It's still possible, but I don't think she's Loki. In the whole romance that they tried to push, forward even more. Nobody mentioned that yet. I'm surprised.
Wait, I want to talk about the romance, but she's definitely Loki. But
prove it.
Well, because it adds to the romance.
Yes, there's that part. Yes, the romance. But the problem with her being Loki in this flashback, though, is that she resents being called Loki, and she was never. She was never told why she was considered a variant. So we still don't know why she has so much resentment for the name or title of Loki yet. Which is, again, another problematic thing about this series. That's another question that wasn't answered. And here they are teasing us as if we were going to get something. And then you got old Ravana. I forgot.
Honestly,
come on.
Yeah.
You gave him
That's a really good point. Because you seem like, if we notice, she spent like 20 years on the run. Like, how incompetent is the TVA that you can't catch a little girl?
I mean, the way she escaped. That was lazy. That was lazy.
And the girl just looked. She said, "What am I gonna do?" She took my little computer thingy. What? Like,
she didn't even use like a Loki. Assuming she is Loki, she didn't use like any type of mischief or trick or anything. She just bent her arm backwards. It's like, oh, I slipped away. You were clumsy with me. Like, that was just lazy writing, man. That was just lazy.
Honestly,
I don't like how they wrote that part.
Yeah, and I don't know why they kidnapped her. And the reason I don't think is because she's not a bisexual white male. Is because Loki can change gender and Norse mythology. I mean, for God's sake, the man turned into a female horse and gave birth to a horse in the lore. Norse mythology.
I saw a meme about that.
Yeah, this man.
But did this happen
horse.
in the MCU?
Dude, come on.
This is Marvel's Loki. This is Marvel's Loki.
Inspired by Norse mythology, dude. That's perverted as the Greek gods. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it makes no sense. What I think it might be is that I think that maybe, just maybe, she snuck into that Asgard place, and maybe I don't know. Maybe she snuck in there by accident in the first place. Maybe she was never meant to be where they found her. But
maybe there's that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like.
Maybe she's not supposed to be like a princess in the Asgardian royal hierarchy.
Maybe there was some BS where because she seemed competent enough when she ran away, and that's the issue. They didn't give us a timeline from when she got captured to when she ran away. But based on what happened,
she was a child. She went from child to grown ass adult. So
exactly. So, and not only that, like, we have to assume that the fact that she escaped the TVA, we can say within like a couple hours of getting captured, based on what happened with Loki in the first episode, she's competent enough to run away. She knew how to use the item that she took from the guard. So I'm gonna assume that she was never to be in Asgard. I'm assuming that she was from an alternate universe. She somehow did some kind of magic, got sent to the place where she got captured. They took her away and said, "You don't belong here. You were from Universe A. This is Universe B. We're taking you."
So are you on the train that she is not a Loki, or she's a different Loki?
I don't think she's a Loki, and if she is a Loki, she's a different Loki.
Okay.
I don't want to use that example.
2 for 2.
I don't want to use that example, but an example that like in Rick and Morty, because you know how the current universe they are in the show, it's a different universe from the original universe from episode 1. It might be something related to that, where she came into that universe where she got captured, like implemented herself into the family, and they took her away. Because I feel like she escaped too easily. This is a little girl who supposedly they walk up, she was just looking while playing with a toy, got captured, taken away, and within like a couple hours of getting captured, she bit her guard, stole the item that they used to fast travel, had the time to program it in like 5 seconds, and then ran away. So that tells me that she's used to running away. That tells me that she's used to seeing them use that item. Or even better, maybe she was a time variant that got captured, and she realized that all of the people that she worked with, let me go back. Maybe she was a variant that got captured, was forced to work for the TVA, realized the trick, and then ran away. Because the fact that she used that TVA item that fast and that quickly, come on, like, it's a kid.
It is, yeah.
It's a kid, and bear in mind that Asgard is a backward ass place. It's not technologically advanced. Asgard is based, we can say, in the Middle Ages, so she would not know how to use a calculator to save her life. Yet she was able to use a smart screen. I dare any of you guys take your iPhone and give it to your grandpa and tell him, "Grandpa, use my iPhone. Go on YouTube and show me a video." Like, okay,
maybe intuitive. Maybe intuitive.
Yeah, that's my analogy. Like, or even better, I mean, as bad as it is, like, go in the middle of the Amazon, find a Native American tribe, give them an iPhone. It's gonna blow their mind. So the fact that she knew how to use that thing tells me that she had experience with it. I think that she's used to running away, and there's probably some mess where, I don't know. It's too complicated. I don't know the Marvel lore anyway, but hopefully they don't screw it up. But
she's always thought she's a variant. She's always thought she's a variant too.
She always knew that, right?
Yeah. What if she's not a variant?
Oh, what if she's like well, wait, no,
she's been running so much she believes she's a variant, but she's not a variant at all.
Oh,
maybe they're abusing their powers and just picking off Lokis,
or just picking off
tired of their shit.
But who is they? Because as we get revealed in this episode, the Timekeepers are a sham.
Wow, the Wizard of Oz.
Straight up the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as soon as they showed those godlike figures talking in that omnipotent voice,
I knew they weren't real.
I knew it. I knew they were real. Yeah. I'm waiting for it. Oh, and then bam, the robots. So
I mean, they even try to be weird. Like,
they didn't even come off as ominous at all. They
didn't. And
they had that weird voice over to their voices were dumb and
like try to make it what's the word, omnipotent, like transcending a little bit, like
and then Sylvie, you're the child of a timekeeper. What is this mess?
Wait, they said that?
I think they said that when she was about to kill him,
that you're the child of a timekeeper.
That's what they said. I believe so.
Oh wow.
I'm keep going. I'm just gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah,
wow.
I can verify that.
I'm fresh off the
episode. They said that. They said you are a child of a timekeeper. We can work together, and she still chopped the head off the middle one.
I remember.
Well, is everybody a child of a timekeeper then?
I have no clue.
I would imagine that's maybe the logic, because like I'm trying to think back to that scene, because I remember that was when she basically B12, is it B12? No, not B12.
B15.
B15 came in. She saved Loki and Sylvie. They start fighting off the guards, and there's no one else protecting the Timekeepers. Sylvie's about to attack them, and then I feel like that's when that middle timekeeper was kind of like trying to negotiate a little bit, like saying, "Oh, Sylvie, we can work together."
It was definitely a negotiation moment,
right?
But I think that's what was said.
All right. Well, damn.
Subtitle wise,
that'll change everything then. Yeah.
Well, unless they were just being desperate.
They could have just been being desperate too.
Words have meaning, so in this show, so.
They do.
But they specifically said Sylvie, not Loki. So they called her out. They said, "You are the child, the timekeeper, not
Yeah,
you guys are."
She was going for the kill.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question is, oh, go ahead.
No, go what? The question?
I don't. Why the need for trickery?
yeah, but then they were laughing. The androids were laughing too after the one in the head got shot. I said, "What the heck is going on?"
Was it like, oh, a gotcha moment? Like, you dumb.
Oh, she caught on. How funny.
Oh, I'm like, okay, because I mean that kind of leads into what I was gonna ask right before Grandmaster. You know, what do we think that there's someone behind the scenes pulling the strings, or is this more like they were put there as like a means of like keeping people in check, but there's not someone behind that, like a puppet master? There's no puppet master.
I can confirm that she did. I'm sorry, I'm just confirming that they did say to her, they call her the child of the timekeepers, which could have just been a desperate ploy to escape, but that was mentioned in the episode.
But is everyone a child of the timekeepers? Because if you know, as Dr. Jace just said, well, this world turns off the infinity stones. If you have power, your powers are turned off. And yet these powers at play feel the need. They can't show themselves. They have to hide behind these robot animatronics. Why? If they're the most powerful beings, I don't understand. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, you could do basically anything. You control the timeline, and yet you can't show your real face, apparently.
Maybe they're just shy.
Maybe they're shy.
Yes, an introvert.
But I mean, I see it as, you know, they are powerful in the sense that they put this position of authority so that the members of the TVA, they don't question who they are, where they're from. And that kind of keeps everyone in check because, you know, the TVA looks like a nice, decent job. It looks like it pays well and it probably has good benefits. So I think likely they just have that mystery to them so that it's like, oh, you never want to piss off, you know, the timekeepers, because if they meet you, you never know what they're going to do. Because even Ravana, during that, when she let the Sylvie slip away when she was a kid, she was pissing her pants when she had to go meet the timekeepers. And at that time, we don't even know what the timekeepers told her when she let that variant Loki get away, when she let Sylvie get away. So is like, did they tell Ravana, like, did they let her in on the loop of what's going on? Did they say, yo, you better find her because she's the key to everything, whatever everything is? It goes back to what you were saying earlier. This thing raised more questions than they answered. I feel like the setup for next week is they're gonna drop bombshells on everything. I would say 90% of the questions we have now should be answered by next episode. And then the finale is centered on the climax. Like, how are they going to, you know, have the final battle? You know, the final confrontation. How are they going to fix everything? But I feel like next week, we're going to know everything. What is pruning? What is Sylvie? What's the TVA? Who are those Lokis? When the variant Loki got pruned? We're going to get all those answers. But
actually, you see, that's the issue. Next week, we don't know if we're going to see the episode from Sylvie's point of view or just from Loki's point of view.
I feel like they would interchange, likely.
I mean, this episode they did for a little bit, but at the end of the day, we always see things from Loki's point of view. Whenever we see something, Loki's around. So I'm hoping that next episode, they don't waste their entire time with Loki, but they actually give the entire story and background story of Sylvie. Because we need to know, like, what's up with her? That's what I want to know anyway. Loki, we already know his story. We've seen all of the Marvel movies again. You don't know it? Read it on Wikipedia. It's not that hard. Her, there's zero. So hopefully they don't waste next week trying to get Loki to go back to the TVA and they drop the lore on the last episode. I would not like that.
I see them focusing more on Sylvie only because where they left off. She wants answers from Ravana.
She did, but at the same time, but Loki's somewhere new and mysterious.
Yeah, I think they're gonna hold off to that though.
You think so?
Yeah, they might sprinkle it. I think they'll sprinkle it a little bit, but they might do a duel. They might do a back and forth.
Well, you know, the penultimate episode usually is the let's answer the questions,
right?
And then the finale is how we gonna act with the answers that we have now. So we should tie up majority of the loose ends by episode 5. Maybe leave 1 or 2 for the finale, but again, they got a lot more questions they need answered than they've already had. So here's 2 answers. Questions that need answers.
Questions that need answers.
How do we think, like knowing what we know right now, 4 episodes in, regardless of how good the last 2 episodes can be, how would you rank Loki so far among, like, try to think back how you felt by episode 4 to 5 of like WandaVision and Falcon. Do you think Loki's better than those shows so far? Is it on the same level?
That's
Still
difficult,
bro.
You can't compare it to Wanda, because Wanda was boring in the first 3 episodes, my man. That thing made no sense whatsoever. And I hated the 1960 joke that they were doing with the black and white stuff. They didn't get into better until the second half. So by episode 4 and 5, WandaVision was getting good, but at the same time, you were left wondering, dude, they wasted so much time with the comedic stuff at the beginning. How much can they do by the end of the show? And for Falcon, the Winter Falcon, honestly, for that one, it started, the first 2 episodes were hype. And then we said it during the podcast, the show just got really, really slow. Nothing major was happening. And when things were happening, they were not as good as the first episode, in my opinion. But for this show, it's kind of difficult to say. The show is interesting because you have new lore, new people, but at the same time, they haven't hit us with anything amazing yet. So for me, it's just halfway there. There's nothing major. I cannot say that I look at any of the characters that we learned from this show and be like, oh my God, I'm hyped. And the Winter Falcon and WandaVision is the opposite. I can say, oh, I'm excited to see about this character more. I'm excited to see this, what's going to happen to this person. But this one, not really. And it's their fault because they keep putting out questions without giving us answers. So I don't know what to be hype about. So screw them for that. Until they give me an answer, I'm not going to be hype about anything because I don't know what I'm supposed to be hype, because you're making all those large theory. For all we know, next week they're going to drop the lore. Oh, I'm just female Loki. I just hate the name Loki. And that's it.
It'll be something simple, just straightforward.
Well, they've dropped the ball if they've done that. It's hard for me to gauge how I even feel about this right now. It's still room for anything to happen. So if there's really 5 and 6, if 5 and 6 really is that good, it could change my overall. I mean, it's still room to change the overall perception of the season, because I think when I watched Wanda, for me, the first 2 to 3 episodes, I was just powering through. And by the time we got a little bit more, I said, all right, I'm invested. I'll finish it out. And by the time we finished, even though the finale wasn't as, amazing, even though it still has some solid parts, I said, okay, everything makes sense to me now. Now I appreciate everything that I just went through. Like, for some reason, I don't feel like I wasted my time with Wanda. Even though I didn't love the very first episode stuff, I didn't love it. I didn't feel like I wasted my time with that story they told in 9. Falcon and Winter Soldier actually started slow for me and picked up in the middle, and then it cooled off at the very, very end. But I still enjoyed the overall show of it. But when it hit its peak so good that, to me, it hit its peak so good before it ended.
Yeah.
I think when John was about to when it hit that,
I think
part,
that was the best episode.
When it hit there,
episode 4, yeah.
I was like, daggone it, like this, it's good. I'm like, this is good. Like, this one thing saved where I was at for everything else. This one episode really pulled everything else together. And then it kind of fell off at the very, very end, and I let it slide. But with Loki, these are mid-season finales that we talk about and everything like that. These are turning point episodes. And yes, we see some turning points, but it's not as, I don't know, it didn't feel as exciting or as jaw-dropping as it should have felt. I don't know if it's fatigue of what's going on. I don't know what to attribute it to, and that's why I should just wait till the end to really figure out how I felt about it. But like I said, the reveals that we had, you know, I was like, I should have my jaw to the floor, right?
Right. Yeah.
But for some reason I didn't. Some of them, the Wizard of Oz or the Wiz trick, I'm like,
we saw it.
We've seen it. So what?
Right.
But the end credit scene, I was like, this is really cool. This is interesting. But like y'all said, I have no answers to anything else that's going on. I have no answers to anything else that's going on. And now you want to throw one more monkey wrench in there? Jeez Louise. Like, the car's not moving. You got the car, the wheels ain't on the car yet. Please put the wheels on the car so we can move. Right.
Get that moving.
Come on, Lightning. Jeez, Lightning McQueen, come on.
I mean, WandaVision also had the benefit of wasn't the first 2 or 3 episodes released like all at once?
The first two were
first two.
It was the first 2 premiered together. Yes.
Okay, I think
really
WandaVision. Yeah, that's another thing. Wanda was shorter, and it had the benefit of having one less week of a weekly grind. So like with Loki, you're grinding every week. So far, 4 weeks, trying to figure out what's going on, what's the next episode gonna reveal. With WandaVision, they released 2 episodes, shorter episodes than Loki, in its first week, and then when you waited an extra week to see the 3rd episode, they drop a bombshell at the very end of the 3rd episode. That's the one where Wanda like blasts was it Rambo? I always call her Rambo.
Monica.
She blasts Monica like, you know, outside of the barrier, and that's when the pieces started getting put together. Like, oh wow, so everything is not what it seems here. And then we got more revelations in episode 4. So with Loki, I feel like maybe it would have benefited a little bit better if they released the first 2 episodes at once, you know, so that, but I don't know, man, maybe
it's too long. It's too long for nothing to have happened.
I don't know, man.
It's like 40 plus minutes. You want to watch 2 40-minute episodes for nothing to have happened?
I think that would have been better just because we're waiting. I mean, we've been doing this every week so far for like up to episode 4. We've been predicting and wanting like, okay, what are they going to do next episode? Are they going to pick up the pace? Are they going to reveal something big about the story? And then we get to next week's episode and we sit here saying the same thing, that it was mid.
We're spoiled. That's all it is. We're spoiled. That's really all it is. We're spoiled. That's all it is. Because I mean, it started slow, but I said, okay, I get the story beat here. I get the attempt. I just wanted to speed up. Like I get the development, but I want it to happen. I want more to happen. I don't want it this slow grind. I think because we know it's 6 episodes too.
So it sounds like y'all prefer not premiering more than 1 episode at once. Sounds like Loki would have been a better binge watch show. Release the whole season at once and just binge it. Yeah. Actually, you know, I think thinking about it, Loki probably really does work as a binge show. You just go. I mean, each episode does lead in. I mean, so did the other shows too, but it just seems like those other shows, you had something, like you said, episode 4 of WandaVision immediately gave us answers to the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it did a really good job at not necessarily leaving you with so many questions, just, you know, kind of peeling back the layers of, you know,
there we go.
Yeah.
I like it.
It properly peeled back the layers of, you know, the intricacies of the Shield and its legacy, and the government's playing around with the super soldier serum and watching them act on their own. And yeah, definitely Falcon and Winter Soldier hit their peak probably by, I would like to say, I was going to say I agree with you with the end of episode 4, Rose, but I would say the beginning of episode 5, where they took back the Shield from John Walker in that crazy fight. where they had to break the man's arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I think that was probably their peak right there.
So we still got episode 5 to look forward to.
We do
Loki.
have
Right.
episode 5,
That's
but
right.
they got to deliver, which again, I think we're just about there, no, to talk about the mid-credit scene. Unless real quick,
Yes.
we didn't mention, I know we stopped the romance.
The romance.
It's weird,
right.
man. It's weird.
It's definitely weird for sure.
And that also
Right.
begs the question, you know,
It's not Loki,
They-
so it ain't that weird to me.
It is
It ain't
Loki.
that-
That's why it caused a
Narcissistic
Nexus
fool.
event.
but
Yeah,
you see
the
that,
Nexus event.
narcissistic.
that's
Oh.
so lame though, because now you're telling me emotions can trigger a Nexus event, like emotions between two characters and not
Two-
action.
No, they're two
Oh,
characters
God.
who are the same character.
But they're saying that their love for each other triggered the
It's
Nexus
bad.
event.
It's bad.
But they didn't do anything with it. They just,
were about
they-
to.
No, they were. They were gonna.
They were.
Oh my God.
No, he wasn't. He
no.
was just blowing an eyelash out. That's what he was about to
No,
do.
the heck
That's
he
all he
wasn't.
was gonna do. You know the
Yeah.
Even
eyelash thing
Mobius-
where the heart
Mobius
comes out?
called it. Mobius
He
called
was
it. He's like,
teasing.
and who called it last week? Was it Darce again? The ultimate form of narcissism. You're in love with yourself.
It might have been. I remember
Oh.
dropping the identity sexual identity for this
Yes.
one.
Yeah. But I mean, Mobius said it too. That's exactly what's going on. That's not right. Can you imagine Tony Stark meeting Tony Stark and saying,
Listen
A
to
female-
yourself
a
saying, who are you
female-
A
to say
female
what?
Tony Stark.
Who are you to say what's right and wrong in romance? You listen to yourself, you
You are-
sound like an old man. That's not
I
right.
know, right?
Okay,
Back
so-
in my
This is
day,
2020.
Back in my day, variants weren't together. You stuck with the
So,
sacred timeline.
all right, so you want to let me ask you, would you like to marry yourself? Would you like to marry yourself? And when I say yourself, you go to the altar, you and a mirror. And the priest goes, do you, Rose the Crafter, take
It's not a mirror.
Rose the Crafter?
I don't even know why I'm defending this. It's all weird to me. Time doesn't make any sense.
Rose and Rose are the crafter.
You can't, it's a Nexus event. You can't do that. You can't do that.
listen, man. If there was actions behind their feelings, I can maybe buy into it. It's just their emotions were in fluctuation, and apparently that caused a variancy.
Well, yes, they were
They're
about
able
to blow up too. But he likes
I
her
don't know.
clearly.
He likes
know
her,
what?
yes.
I'm sick of all this variance talk. I'm throwing a new theory in the ring.
Which one?
I think I've said this before. Well, I've said the atmospheres are being created, but the variance thing, I'm starting to disbelieve. I'm starting
That
to
they're not
disbelieve.
variants?
That really, not variance, but that it triggered a Nexus event.
So
I
what
don't
is
buy
it?
it.
Well, what's your theory then?
Oh, I don't have a theory. That's it. My theory is
Oh.
that there is no Nexus
My
event.
theory is that there's no
the Nexus,
variancy.
the Nexus event is illusion in itself. That's my theory.
It's all
So
a timekeepers ruse.
so that whole reach the red line actually doesn't mean anything.
All fabricated.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
You have to question everything because TVA is a bunch of liars.
But why not let it happen then? Then that's the other question. See, why are they preventing the Nexus events from reaching the
That's
critical?
That's what we got to figure out.
You see, and we keep
Yeah,
forgetting all
maybe.
these questions that we have for the show.
But wait a minute, everybody's variant, so they have to have the world feel real. They have to have the dimension feel real. The stakes have to feel real. You know, it has to feel
do.
real. You know, Mobius has
Okay.
to know that a Nexus event is a Nexus event and it's real.
Okay. Still doesn't say why they got to stop them.
Think about it. I brainwash people into protecting a timeline.
Oh, you
of
got to
bunch
give
of
them a
different
purpose.
I'm giving them a purpose.
A
I'm just
glorious
saying,
purpose.
listen to how you're saying. I'm giving them a glorious purpose. That's it. I've went through the cynical plot just to make people protect the timeline. These events really happen. These different things really happen. No, I'm not buying it. It's all an
Okay.
illusion. And obviously somebody very powerful pulling the strings, but it's all an illusion.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we think it's a person? You know what? We're just gonna be guessing here all day. Like if we try to really think about who's behind the scenes. We did get the
What-
Loki
what-
variants at the end. So I like some of the
Actually,
callbacks. What's up?
I'm willing to make a bet. The person
Okay,
in
what are you
control
betting?
was
What are you betting? Your life?
yes.
Oh my gosh.
My soul, everything. Let's go with that. Because
right.
that's dispensable, right? No, I'm willing to bet that Mobius might be the timekeeper. I would not be surprised if they do that.
You're
Where,
kidding.
Mobius is
I
the
would not-
timekeeper?
yeah, I would not be surprised if there's some BS like that where he's in control. I would not like to see it, and that would be horrible writing. But I'm not in the writing room, so it's possible they might put this in.
I can't buy it, man. I don't
It's
know.
on the
You can't
table.
buy it.
It's
Hey,
on
oh,
the
you
saying-
table, but I can't see a
dude,
logical way for them to tie in Mobius being the timekeeper. I don't see
Honestly.
I don't see the connection.
That's the point. There's no connection because this show makes absolutely no sense. There's no way for us to make any connection from point A to point B because we don't even know where point A and point B are in this show. Like in WandaVision, when we watched the episode, when we were watching the Winter Falcon, we could see, oh, this episode, this happened in this episode. So maybe this will happen next episode. And most of the time, it did not happen the way that we thought it was going to happen, but a variant of what we thought was going to happen actually happened. With this show, it's impossible. We're in episode 4, 2 episodes to go. 60% of the show is gone, or whatever the number is. And 66%, whatever the number is, and we still don't know what to predict whatsoever. We have no idea what's going on. This episode, they could have introduced the time skipper. It was a joke. There were a bunch of androids. There's an old man somewhere behind a sheet playing with computers, twisting cables and stuff, laughing at the clownery that's going on. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like with this show, anything is possible at this point.
Okay.
Anything. And it's like
Anything
gonna
is
be
possible.
Yes, it's gonna be like he's gonna look at Loki. He was like, "Yes, it is I. It was the one controlling you the entire time, buddy. You were not as smart as you thought you were."
I mean, we did have that Simpsons crossover announced, so I don't know if that's maybe gonna.
It's not a
I'm excited.
crossover.
It is a
It is part
crossover.
of the cinematic
It is
universe.
It is a short that is stylized and paying homage to Marvel's cinematic universe.
The
That's
only
all
reason-
that.
What is
the
the
only
short?
reason-
What is the short call?
The Bart, the Loki, I think.
The good, the Bart, and the Loki.
The Loki. That's all I need to know. Part of the cinematic universe.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh.
you're only
I
saying
want to
it's
look.
not.
When does it come out?
Shoot.
July, I think. Well, that's tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not really sure myself.
July 7th.
July 7th. Okay,
I don't
so
know
next
how
week.
to
I think-
So it's gonna tie into the Loki. It's
It
gonna
is.
tie into the Loki.
100%.
It's gonna tie in.
100%.
Exactly.
Highly
They're
doubted.
gonna-
The only
They're gonna
reason.
What do you mean you're gonna highly
The
doubt
only
it?
reason
Don't
why
you highly doubt it?
Grandmaster, the only reason
How do
why
you
he's
highly
doubting
doubt
it is because it gives credibility to the Cars crossover potentially happening, and he
Yeah,
doesn't
that's why
want
he
that
goes
to
like that.
happen. So
But do not
Man.
worry. When you're proven wrong, we'll be happy to accept it.
We are driving
Don't worry.
away the people coming to listen to this podcast. with
How?
this
Driving away.
Cars. Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Not
right.
at all. That's not at all. Can we just talk about that mid-credit scene?
Fine, since you so insist. What we got? We got four variant Lokis.
Oh wait, is the Gator a Loki?
Yeah, he had a Loki
He had the
thing
helmet.
on his helmet.
Oh, I thought he
had
was a
helmet.
pet.
I mean, he could
Oh,
be
they're
a
all
pet,
Lokis.
but
They're all Lokis.
they have to be all Lokis, which then begs the question. You know, Sylvie, she also had the horn
Horns,
thing.
yeah.
So,
She's a Loki.
she's a, she might be a Loki, but like, you know, the Gator had a helmet, the boy had a helmet, the old man had a helmet. I don't think the black guy had a helmet. I
No,
don't-
so
but he had a
Just
hammer.
traditional armor.
yeah, the hammer,
Yeah, it
which
looks
makes
very
him who?
Thor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a Thor.
You think he's a variant of Thor? Oh, he could be a variant of Thor.
I'm pretty
He's
sure
Loki,
he's
I
but
told you the same thing earlier. Like,
no,
I
he's not
accept-
Loki. He's a Thor.
he's credited
the
as
hammer.
boastful Loki. So what else you want?
Oh, he's actually credited
writers
in
are
the
wrong.
credits.
Yeah.
Boastful Loki. Oh, okay. He's a Loki then.
Fine. What? Fine. Well,
Maybe
what
it's
if?
a Loki that
Maybe
took
he's
the
a
hammer of Thor.
yeah. Maybe
Yes,
the
a Loki
worthy
that
of
was
him.
worthy of Mjolnir.
That's right. I can buy that.
Fine, I'll take it.
So what do we? What their variants?
I mean, what does this mean? Why are all these Lokis in the same spot that you get pruned?
Listen, I
Multiverse war, like you said.
Multiverse, but why are they all
why
so
the
different?
Lokis? Why the Lokis?
You just have to stay tuned.
Stay tuned to episode.
So you don't
5.
got a theory about why all these Lokis are here?
Do you have a theory?
I already said my theory, and to me it's lazy writing. They're gonna say something like if Loki is not a bisexual white male, he's a variant, so they got to delete all the other ones. So they delete the female one, they delete the alligator one, they delete the old man one, they delete the black one.
Why do they got to keep a white bisexual Loki around?
I don't know. It's just listen,
why is that the
Not in the
standard
room.
for Loki?
He said he's not in the room.
I'm not in the writer's room. To me, at this point,
That
it's
is
lazy
not what they're
writing.
doing. That
It's
is not what
lazy
they're
writing
doing.
until they make a reveal, which, I mean, they might make a reveal because, again, Ravonna gave a lot of sass to Sylvie when Sylvie asked, why did you try to delete me? Instead of just saying because you're a female Loki and Loki's supposed to be male, she says, oh, I don't know. So it kind of leads some credence to there might be more to it. And also we left off right there where Sylvie is ready to like attack Ravonna at the very end of the episode, and she's like, you're gonna answer all my questions. And I would imagine one of her first questions is gonna be, why did you try and prune me when I was little? Like, what was going on with that? What's the deal? So it could be something as lame as he has to be a white bisexual male.
They're not gonna say that. That's bad writing. That's
it is.
lazy writing.
It is very bad writing.
It's well, fine. You're gonna make me come up with a theory on the spot.
Well, yes.
You're asking us for
Go
a
for
theory.
it.
All right, look, I got it. That's because my theories suck and they always prove wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure Darce has been nailing these theories because he mentioned Kid Loki at one point. But
I
that was
told you
it.
the aughts. I told you the Jack and Daxter theory, and that
You
pretty
did.
much came true.
I'm the only one. I was the first one, and I'm giving me my credit. I'm the first one who said those stones will come back into play. So if they come back into play, I win.
Oh, okay.
I win that theory. Because this is what this show's about now. The show's not about our enjoyment from watching. It's about whose theories are going to prove right, because this show gives us nothing else to do. So here I go. They want to prune all the Lokis because Lokis were the reasons for the multiverse war. And there's only one Loki they couldn't get, which is Sylvie. So it's going to be revealed. Not only are those 3 Lokis there, but there's probably going to be a city of Lokis, like in that place where they're at. There's probably a city of Lokis, and it's going to be a Loki army, and they're gonna try to take back their lives and their own timelines without the TVA interference. And then the Lokis are gonna run the TVA. That's my theory.
Okay, but why would pruning bring Loki there?
Because the TVA are fools. They think they're in a pocketless dimension. However, if Loki has swiped a space stone, or the reality stone,
now you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go. He can bend reality, or he can just.
And that might be explain why he has Vote Loki sticker from the preview or the promo trailer.
The Vote Loki, yes.
Yeah, he's gonna try to gather up all the Lokis and say, "Let's go, we're taking over this place."
But I mean, the question is, why, if he had a stone, why wouldn't he use it earlier?
Make sure he got Sylvie.
He can't use it in the TVA.
No, when he was not in the TVA, like when he was about to die in the apocalypse.
Fine, he didn't have one back then. He didn't have
maybe
one.
Mobius
the building. How did he move the building?
How did
unforeseen power that he never knew he had? That's his frost giant blood. That's frost giants at work.
We've never seen a frost giant do that.
You didn't see it. He made a block of ice that was pushing the building back up on its underside. We just didn't see it.
That's a bit enough tier for me.
Maybe they edit. Are fine.
Just forget about that building. Let's move on from that building. Forget about the building.
I'll have to accept it.
The building will never
now.
make sense.
Do we have anything else? Like, I don't know, man.
That's all I got.
I'm left empty with this episode. Aside from what we
There's
already
nothing to
covered.
talk about. Yeah, like
You're done.
I'm
Toasty?
waiting.
You're like,
yeah, I'm ready for the real finale, which should be the Simpson one.
That's right.
So
yeah.
July 7th. So that's next week.
Yeah,
The
same
after
day.
episode, same day, even better. So,
Wait,
yeah,
is it the same
I'm
day?
sure.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
day.
because
Oh, okay.
7 is Wednesday.
Oh,
It's next
yeah.
Wednesday. But
Okay,
apart from that,
okay.
man, like this episode has nothing for us. Like, let's just move on and let's go. I mean, I don't have anything.
Not even the action is that great. That
It really
choreo was
isn't.
weak.
Yeah.
was,
It's because they're not using their powers. Isn't that the issue? In WandaVision, she used her powers, so that was cool. The Winter Falcon, they were using some kind of mechanical gadget stuff to fight.
They're
That was
using
cool.
their kit. Like kind of like
Yeah,
what you're
here.
saying. Like Falcon, he was using his wings, his jetpack. He had Red Wing with him when he was
Yeah.
fighting.
Exactly. It was using those grenades that like push people out of airplanes and make them fall to their death in the middle of the desert. So you know the coyotes got a hold of them. So like we had something, but with this, it's just hand-to-hand comeback. I'm like, Loki, I'm sorry, you look mad weak. Like if it was Thor fighting hand-to-hand, I would believe it. But you, I feel like you get punched, you just fold over and die. So you're not a fighter. I mean, God's sake, man. So yeah, they need to. Then he needs to somehow get his power back when he fights the TVA. Because if they do hand-to-hand comeback again, I'm gonna be disappointed. I wanted to watch Loki to see him do some magic trick and mess with people's head. I don't want to watch Loki to see him hand-to-hand fight people. That's
He
not
hasn't
what
used
I'm
his
here
magic in any way. Like
for. Yeah. The
They
building.
basically nerfed the best
The
part of
building.
Loki.
Yes,
they nerfed
him.
severely. Very,
Yeah.
very severely.
Can you imagine watching a Spider-Man movie, but he never used the web
His
to swing
webs.
around the city? Or even
Yeah.
better, he never fights. All he does is take a bat and hit people in the back of the head. Dunk, dunk. Like, if you're watching Spider-Man movie, and that's all he had. Like, this man was playing whack-a-mole with a bat. Like, you will walk out of the theater. Like,
You're
that's
right.
not why. Like,
You're right. You're
this is
right.
what they give it to us. Yeah, they took away this man's power and they give us nothing in return. Yeah, he's smart, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Just don't even do fight scenes at this point.
Yeah, I didn't need a
Yes.
fight. I didn't need a fight scene that
I
episode.
don't.
I could have got the.
Yeah.
If you just answer some of the questions, that's fine with me. I don't have to see action.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fight scene took up a solid 30 seconds to a minute of screen
Just for
time.
B-15 again to do nothing.
Nothing.
Wait
She
a
got
minute.
knocked out within the first
Wait a
2
minute.
seconds.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Don't defend her.
It's enough of the B-15
Yes.
disrespect. It's enough. I've had
Trash.
enough. I've had enough. How dare you?
She's
She pushed the
trash.
whole story forward.
She's the catalyst. Without her, you remove her from the story, Grandmaster. None of this could have happened. Loki
So
and Sylvie would not have been freed.
At first,
They-
B-15 was definitely,
A drone.
annoying. A drawing, yes. But that episode was her redemption.
I need more for her
Because-
redemption.
More? What the heck? She figured it out.
I'd want to
She
know
got
what
knocked
makes her
out in 2
tick.
seconds.
She's not a fighter. We've realized that.
She's a
She
hunter.
got wits. Well, hunting and fighting aren't the same thing.
She was
Well,
obviously not
true.
smart enough to dodge those punches. She just ate them like it was breakfast. Poop, and she
with
was
a
out.
helmet on.
She doesn't
With a
have a will to
helmet on.
fight anymore. She wants to be pruned. She wants to be happy again.
Go
She
back
was
to her
happy.
time.
Trash.
She said, "I was
Trash.
happy. I was happy."
So I guess she's not happy
She's
right
not
now.
happy where she's at right now.
No.
Oh my
Still
God.
trash.
Not trash.
Give me more.
I take it
They gave you a whole episode of her literally pushing everything forward,
I need
saving
more.
their butts.
more.
I need more.
You want more?
She's-
After
Yeah,
all
she-
the layers that were peeled back?
I want to know that she was actually a Wakandan who, got
Why?
plucked off the
Why?
rhino. Just throwing it with Marvel lore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wakanda.
She's a black
I mean, that's
character.
not bad.
Yeah, she's a black
She's also an
character. Yeah, that's a
African
good
act.
one.
She's a African descent actress. Like she's
Oh,
British,
all
and her
African
family.
descent.
What if she was from Wakanda?
Her family.
That is crazy.
What if that's the
See,
reason why they hid it though? They didn't show you because it's all made for a big reveal at the very end where she's from,
And she's
it
gonna
is
appear
from Wakanda.
And
Let's
she might
hope.
appear in Wakanda forever.
She could, because time is
Right.
relative.
What
so
if
they
she
could have picked her
becomes
from
the
anywhere.
next Black Panther? How would you feel about
I'm
that?
sorry, she is African. She's from Nigeria,
There you
There we
go.
go.
How
but
would
born
you
in
feel?
Britain. I mean, born in Nigeria, raised in Britain.
How would you feel if she's the next Black Panther?
No.
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
Yes.
Why?
She ain't black. She's not a royal lineage.
She's not black.
what?
She's not royal lineage. She's not a royal lineage. She can't. She can't. She can't. She's not royal lineage. She can't.
She's not
What
royal
about the
lineage.
other tribes and any of the other tribes?
They
can rival?
didn't challenge during challenge day.
Whoa, wait. We don't know she's not royal lineage because we didn't see what her backstory is.
Either way, well, you know,
Exactly.
there's no way she was happy if she lost that royal lineage fight to be queen.
Well, we don't know if she was in a
She never
fight to
got the
begin
fight.
with. Because
No,
we
she got
did
the,
see.
she got
got
the
away.
fight.
Think about it. She has a very good job in the TVA. Yes, she was
Yeah,
willing
she got
to
the
throw,
fight.
but she was willing to throw it all away because she was like, I had an amazing life back wherever I came from. What other life can that be aside from royal lineage of Wakanda?
She was not of royal lineage.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever. The point is,
Remember this.
she's trashed. And we need
Had a
more.
bookmark. Had a bookmark in the video so we can remember
am.
and go back to this 2 years from now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's
I
fine.
put a
That's
timestamp. Don't worry.
Good. Good.
I would say that wraps up our thoughts. I don't know if we have anything else to say. We got B-15 ready to take up the mantle as Black Panther. We got more questions that need to be answered with Loki episode 5 next week. I'm telling you, man, episode 5 better hit it out of the park. I mean, I don't know.
If not, we have the Simpsons.
It will.
If not, we have the Simpsons right after that.
We have the
That's
We
Simpsons
also
right
have
after that.
we also have Black Widow next Friday.
Next Friday, July 9th.
Black
yeah.
Widow. I do remember Black Widow. I guess I'm just keeping that separate just because it was supposed to come out last year.
This is telling
so-
Marvel to step their game up with Loki. I mean, it's a little too late to step their game up because
It
it's all
is.
filmed.
Yes.
But
do better.
as fans, we'll probably go listen to a Black Widow podcast over a Loki if episode 5 does not deliver.
Easily. Yeah, I would say that wraps up this week's episode of the Yonkō Table. If you guys liked our thoughts or what we had to say about episode 4 of Loki, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the podcast around with your friends and family, and let's get the discussion going, man. Let's talk more Loki, and hopefully you guys maybe enjoyed it more than we do, and you were able to take something more out of it that we couldn't.
And that's okay. And that's
that
okay.
is okay. That is okay. So share the episode around and let us know your thoughts. But I am DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop, fellow Supernova Rose the Crafter, and Supernova Toasty signing off. Take care, everyone.